Hello. All of us at some point have been hurt by somebody else. And if you're like me, you've probably hurt someone else and you've had to say sorry. And for a relationship to grow and be sustained, it requires a lot of grace and a lot of forgiveness. Forgiveness is key in our relationships, but it's not always an easy thing to do. And some of us can hold on to a grudge for a lifetime. But there's a problem with that. If you imagine our souls as a garden, then every time we feel hurt, a seed is planted in that garden. It doesn't pass over, it plants itself. And if it really hurts, that seed starts to take root. The roots are the bitterness we feel. And what grows above the surface is the resentment that comes from it. The only way to remove those feelings of bitterness and resentment that can do so much harm to our well-being is to forgive. And there are so many stories of people who have found healing and freedom in being able to forgive. Forgiveness is not forgetting, but it is for the person wounded to begin to start to heal. So how do we do that? A psychologist, Dr. Everett Worthington, offers a step approach. The first step is to recall the hurt. We often try to forget the hurt. We don't like pain, so we try to numb the pain. The problem is, when we numb pain, we numb all our emotions. The anger never really dies. It's buried alive and is allowed to fester. And so that first step of recalling the hurt as objectively as you can, recognizing that a wrong has been done and you are aiming for repair and not revenge. The second step is to empathize. Empathy helps us to see things from someone else's point of view. Why do you think the person acted the way they did? What feelings, what pressures, what agenda did they have? How might that explain their harmful acts? The third step is to act, to make a decision to forgive that person, a deliberate decision. You might want to write it down to remind yourself. That will help with the next step, the commitment to forgive. You may later feel, or you may have forgotten, that you have forgiven. It's easy to remember the hurt, but harder to remember your forgiveness. So commit to forgive. And the final step is to hold on to that forgiveness. Whenever you doubt what you have done, remind yourself of this process. Remind yourself, focus on the positive achievements, not the pain. So forgiveness is about recalling, empathizing, acting, committing, and holding on to it. Maybe there's somebody that you need to forgive. And allow that grudge and that bitterness and resentment to go away. In forgiving, we find healing.